Loving your daughter's husband is sick. Happy Thursday, guys. My name is GreyGray, your awkward yet talented chingu. I am here to give you a breakdown of the interesting stories we've had on this channel this month. So ranging from romance to mystery, drama, psychological stories, to even true stories, all that and more today on this episode. GreyGray Tale-Tale.
Check it.
So starting with our first story, The Betrayal. If you guys know this story, then you know something is up.
Oh my God.
Because we have a mother, we have a daughter, and we have a husband. And there's just a very big situationship in the middle. And there's this whole controversy of Linda and Sarah and the husband, Mark. Mark, to me, in my own opinion, is a useless... I'll just stop at that point in time, because why? The big question is why. And a lot of people will be like, oh, it's just fiction. These things happen in real life. So this story is like a reality. It's a reality of some people, because there are stories on Reddit, there are stories online that we see the mother is kind of like competing with the daughter. The mother is trying to get into the daughter's marriage and affair with the husband. It is just a sick mentality, it's a sickening relationship to have. And a lot of people will go like, oh, no. Like, you can love is love. But guys, really, loving your daughter's husband is sick. Really, it is just sick, because you see your daughter and you see this man and they're together and you're like, no, I want a part of that. There's just something sickening about it, in my opinion. And yeah, it's a reflection of some people's realities, which I think is very, very terrible. So what really made me start this story was actually, we had, the team and I sat down together, we're thinking of stories. We had to go through a lot of research, a lot of posts, a lot of, things online that we are seeing online. And one of the things we saw online that is prevalent is that kind of situationship. It's even difficult to pronounce because it's disgusting. Situationship. And then I just thought, let's write a story about this and let us give the husband and the mother a befitting whip. And yes, I think we did that. Did we do that, guys? I don't know. Put your comments down below if you thought we did justice to Sarah Martinez, her husband Mark Martinez, and her mother Linda, who did not know her place and was just hopping around. And the annoying part was Linda was married. She left her husband for Linda. If you are a Linda is a good name, a beautiful name. Linda is a very beautiful, loving name for a lot of loving people. But if you are behaving like the Linda in our story, karma is real. That's all I'm going to say about that. So moving on to the next story. Adeze. The next story here is Adeze. Adeze was written by a very beautiful writer of ours. And now, to be honest, Adeze is kind of suffering from Stockholm syndrome. Honestly, Adeze needs deliverance, and Adeze needs, there's problem in Adeze's life, honestly, because how would you be exiled from your village? Now, the village people are very horrible too, but how will you be exiled from your village? And then you meet a random man in the forest, and the random man is saying, yeah, I kind of cursed you when you were a kid because I kind of loved you, and then we have to be together for you to break the curse. And you're like, no, I don't think that is right. But then you thought, yeah, you're the love of my life. That is weird. Kudos to the writer. His name is Oluwanifish Daniel, and he was able to craft out that intriguing story, because I was thinking, why would a man put a curse on a girl and then force her to fall in love with him, and she gave up everything to fall? Adeze's curse is really a curse, because I feel it's just weird, the whole genesis of Adeze falling in love with somebody who just placed down a curse. And then it's just weird, guys. I don't know. Put your comments down below if you think it's okay. And I read some of the comments. People were like kind of like upping me up on this one, because Adeze was really in trouble. Honestly, God deliver Adeze. The person who edited that was one of our team members, Bambushe Ridwan. And yeah, it was a lovely story. It's the second highest video on our channel. So if you want to dive right into Adeze and all our shenanigans, you can go right to the video. It will be linked below. All the links will be in the description, so you guys can just click and watch. So moving on to the next story. There is the 56th bride. Now, this story is kind of like it was different, a bit different from the one we've done before. I mean, talking about Linda, Sarah, and Mark, the trio from Doom, and they're talking about Adaeze and first boyfriend. Now we're talking about this person who fell in love, genuinely fell in love with a man she met in a coffee shop. Now I just have like a new fair. A new fair is unlocked, guys. If I see any of my friends trying to fall in love in a coffee shop, I just remember the 56th bride. I'm like, guy, you might be 57th. Don't fall in love in a coffee shop. I'm just kidding. But anyway, this beautiful woman, this lovely woman fell in love with this guy who was so loving, beautiful, handsome Brody, and she fell in love with him, and it was beautiful. This guy did everything. He brought the moon down to earth for her. He parted the waves of the ocean for her. He kind of like built like every loving thing for her. Only that our guy here has killed 55 women, and he's planning and plotting to kill the 56th one. And he just got so comfortable with killing people. He was just like, oh, I could just off this one and off this one and off this one. He got so comfortable with the idea of like he could just do whatever it is he wanted to do. And then, guys, he met her on the wedding day. He's not even trying to hide anymore, because he has like a photographer that is working for him, and that journalist who is like writing about how great he is of a man inside the newspaper. And on the wedding day, he was not even trying to make it past the honeymoon. This guy was like, I'm just gonna marry them and just add them to my collection. But our very smart girl, the moment she entered the manor, is very lovely mansion that looks like a haunted house in some way or form, and she realized that this guy had photographs just laying around. He was not even trying to be cautious. He was just so openly out there. It was just like a serial killer that was like slay, that kind of stuff. And she was so petrified. She was so scared, mortified. She hid a knife under her wedding dress. And this man tried to even do the do on the wedding day. That is just crazy. But at the end of the day, evil does not win. And yes, he was arrested. But I'm just worried if there will be a part two, where maybe kind of gets out, because somebody was in the comments where like they just want to see more of that. They wish we were able to explore more of that story. And I just felt, well, there's a possibility, but I'm not promising. There's a lot on our plate, and we are gobbling it up, and we're not full yet, and there's still a lot on our plate. So let's see how that will go. But kudos to the beautiful, bright, lovely, smart woman who saved herself from being the 56th victim of a deranged human being. So the next story here is... Now, this next story, the last laugh, is dear to my heart because Grandpa is savage. See, I have an affinity for old people who just know their onions, and they are savage. And I'm not talking about senile savage, like you're just like, oh, I'm a crazy old man. I'm talking about you just being petty. Pettiness has a special place at the recess of my mind, because pettiness, when used right, is just smart. It's just a masterpiece. And this grandfather knew he was about to die. He was diagnosed with cancer. Rest Grandpa. So this is fiction, by the way. So guys, don't go thinking I'm talking about real human being and I'm just spewing all of these things, although it's a reflection of some people's realities, but it is in no way, shape or form an actual event, incident, or human being. So this is just Grandpa being diagnosed with cancer, and Grandpa was like, you know what, I've lived a very lovely, enjoyable life, and now it's time for me to rest, but I have this wealth. Grandpa is like a billionaire. Grandpa is so rich. I wish Grandpa was my grandpa, but my grandpa is fine. Anyway, Grandpa is so rich, so cool, so dope, which is Louis Vuitton shirts and blazers. Grandpa is just all, salt and pepper kind of grandpa, silver hair kind of grandpa. And he realized he was going to die soon. Now, what did Grandpa do? Grandpa said he has this massive wealth, but he just needed to just tell his family, because family is family. But let me just get into Grandpa's family real quick. His family, I don't know how to describe them, but these people, just like Adaeze, need deliverance. Okay, so this grandpa's family, they need deliverance is what I'm trying to say. And these people are just, they are just like mongrels. They're like parasites. They just want to suck their tentacles and fingers into, into everything and just suck out grandpa's money. The minute they heard that grandpa was sick, they all flew down. Rebecca was cooking and grandpa was like, our food tastes like sandpaper. She cooked nada, nonsense food. Grandpa was so savage. He was just giving everybody left, right, back, up, down, and center. And he has a son who is also like an artist who like paints. It's his muse. You know those people that, they just stare into the sun dramatically and they start to paint and there's nothing in their heads. Yes, that is grandpa's son. And grandpa was like, if not because you're my son, I for know it, I for tell you. But you're my son anyways. And then there's a twin. This twin, they are insufferable. They're always fighting like they're in high school. They're always annoying. The annoying part of being annoying is that they are just annoying. And they try to mimic one another. So all of them flew down, trying to be good for grandpa, trying to be good to grandpa, trying to, take care of grandpa. And grandpa was just watching all of them. They were fluffing his feathers, saying, Grandpa, I'm your favorite child. Give me all your $1 billion. I want to be the next Elon Musk. That kind of stuff. But grandpa was just looking at them because, of course, in his corner, his first son, who kind of passed away, rest his soul, has a beautiful wife and a son who were kind of like annihilated from the family because they were like, you're not part of us, you're not among us, you're not in the same social class as us. And yeah, the son was the only one taking care of grandpa while everybody was just being crazy and everything. They took care of grandpa, made sure grandpa had his meals, but grandpa still had cancer and grandpa was about to pass away. And these people were there through thick and thin. And now that thing is happening, the families want to take grandpa's wealth all away. And long story short, grandpa just kind of like savaged everybody and told them, you know what, I'm giving all my money to charity. Immediately he said that, everybody was like, what the hell? Grandpa, we are your kids. Grandpa was like, you guys are living like wrong lives. You guys, if I give you my money, my legacy is going to get destroyed. Everything I've worked for is going to get destroyed. So what grandpa did was just split his money amongst his daughter-in-law and his grandson, who were very kind and were helpful and everything. And grandpa was letting us know that you can't even mess with my grandson because I've taught him everything that is on my head. See the rest? No money for them. Immediately grandpa said that. Everybody just flew back to their homes and ignored grandpa till grandpa died alone, of course, with his grandson and his daughter-in-law. So it's just like a very savage masterpiece of grandpa just giving everybody. Even grandpa was telling us, now I can rest in peace. So yeah, on to the next story. Oh, the next story is the wedding that never happened. Oh my God. Now, I particularly edited this story because this story was so interesting. I felt like I needed to edit it myself. I was the one that decided to sit down and said, I will edit this story myself. And guys, things happened in this story. Now let's start from the beginning. There's this beautiful girl, this lovely girl, this very ambitious, lovely girl who kind of happened to just be in the village, married with 2 kids, and they're kind of like broke. Very poor. Yeah, they are living like in a dilapidated house. And also, guys, another disclaimer, this is fiction. So don't come for me saying, I'm looking down on poor people, I'm looking down on broke people. You're looking at one right now. Me, I'm also broke. I'm also poor. So, guys, don't come and be saying, she's such a nep. She's trying. I understand. When I said Adiza is poor, I know the feeling. I know the feeling strongly from the bottom of my heart. So anyway, Adiza was living with her husband. He was a hard-working guy. His name is Amadu. Amadu is always working hard, but things are not just working well because Nigeria's economy is really, really very terrible. And honestly, it is giving them left, right, up, down, center. And Amadu was trying so much. They have this 3-year-old kid, a girl, and they have this baby who is not even up to 6 months old. And they were trying to but Adiza, our babe Adiza, is frustrated. Every second of the day, she's always looking at Amadu like, you did this to me. You brought me into this poverty. But anyway, Amadu just kept working like, don't worry, babe, we're going to get this out of this. One night, what's off Adiza was like, one night, a kid was very sick. Our daughter was sick and there was no money. Amadu was going from house to house to beg for money. And Adiza was like, I can't do this anymore. This is like wretched. This is not my lifestyle. And the next morning, she just packed whatever money they've saved up for rent and she just crammed. The girl just booked the next tickets to Lagos. She was like, I have to get to Lagos. Lagos is where the big girls are. And honest to God, she just kind of left. She left her kids, a sick kid. She left her husband. She did not look back. And Amadou was devastated because even the money he has been saving for rent was gone. And the kids were crying and everything was just so crazy. And Adisa was like, I'm out of here. I'm in Lagos. I just need to just rebrand myself. So she rebranded herself. She became this good Gucci girl, got a job, learned to speak good English with an accent. Of course, an accent. And she was just trying to be like, the best of the best, the big of the big, the swollen of the swollen, everything of the everything. Hadiza was pumping it. She was killing it. She was like, family? Who? Baby? Who? I'm not married. I don't have kids. Kids? I do not have, as I am single to stupor. And Hadiza was just killing it in Lagos. And she met Muhammad. Guys, she met Muhammad of the, when I'm talking about bougie, bold, bachelor that is like billionaire, stinking rich, all those Yoruba demon. That is Muhammad for you. They call him Yoruba demon because, it's not as if they are demonic. Because some people might go like they are witches and wizards. No, the Yoruba demon of the money. They have bastard money. That's what they are talking about. And this guy was, head to toe, just swooning over her like this baby is fine. And she's just going like, yeah, I don't have a family. And he loved her to the extent that he wanted to marry her. And she just forgot about her past. She rebranded herself. And my little beautiful Hadiza was on her wedding day. Her wedding dress was flown in from Paris, guys. It was just so great. And let me give you a time frame here. She moved to Lagos and she spends about 3 to 5 years in Lagos. So it's not like just today and tomorrow she met Muhammad. There was a time frame between that. And on her wedding day, Muhammad was like, I want to introduce you guys to my business partner, yada, yada, yada. It was one that sponsored my wedding and we did. Amadou came out. Adisa was like, you, this little piece of shit. Where was all that money when I was suffering with you in the village? Where is all that? Now he has a bride. Now the kids don't even recognize her. Now he's going to file divorce papers and tell her the kids has been adopted by this new woman. Amadou, where was the money when I was with you? Amadou did not only he ruined the entire wedding, but Adisa kind of deserved it for abandoning her kids. But Amadou was, Amadou, horrible, really, really horrible. Everything was just horrible. It was a mess. The wedding was destroyed. People were taking pictures for Instagram. Yeah, and that's the end of Adiza's story. But if you want to know more about Adiza, the link's in the description. Guys, bam. At this juncture, someone yanked out our mic by error, so you might get a little bit of choppy audio moving forward. But while you listen, please don't forget to subscribe. So Amaka's father is a greedy man. And not greedy because he's kind of suffering, kind of greedy. His family was doing at least basic bare minimum okay, but he just wanted to accumulate land, wanted this, wanted that, wanted everything in between. And there's this man called Chief August. Now, don't get me started on this pot-bellied maniac. And I'm not even trying to say pot-bellied to shame the people who have pot bellies. I know people who have pot bellies and are very, very charming people, but yeah, this man pot belly is full of evil. This man is swallowing evil. When I say his pot belly is humongous, it's because he's stuffing it there. And this man, do you know what he does? He's like the low of the low. He kind of buys children, females to be exact, buys kids, which is sickening, from their fathers, which is even more sickening. So this father sold his daughter Amaka to acquire land, which is even crazy. Why do they need this land? It's not as if they are starving. And Amaka's mother kind of knows it, which is terrible. Imagine the betrayal of your daughter crying to you like, Mama, please don't let me go. But the mother just kind of looks away. It is just deplorable. And it takes not only Amaka, several other girls, and he locks them up in these houses and gets them pregnant just to propagate his seed, which is disgusting, by the way. But Amaka was not like the others. Amaka was like, no, something has to change. And what was crazy was that this man he had these people, in government offices. He had powerful people. He's friends with very powerful people. And Amaka was like, if she runs to the authorities, they might not actually help. So what did Amaka do? She set fire to the man's house. Exactly. She burned everything down. If he cannot lose the battle, she just had to take what he had. And what did he have? He had money. And money was his stepping stool for power. So she freed the girls, she burnt his whole house down, and then she led this, this channel for freedom. And these girls kind of like came out, realized that it's not okay for their fathers to sell them. It's not okay to be used as collateral. It's not okay to be given away to this terrible Chief Augustus whose pot belly is touching the ceiling. It's not okay for Chief Augustus to actually be doing this. And it's not okay for the society to look away. And Amaka led this battle. The girls were free, but sadly, Amaka kind of lost her life, which is kind of terrible. And we did not know this until the end, when Amaka feels like she's talking from heaven. I'm like, girl, you did that from heaven or what? Then I realized she passed away in the fire, she said, for Chief Augustus' house to get burned down. And it is kind of like a very inspirational story of people who kind of like fight for justice. And guys know that this is all fiction, but a reflection of our reality. Some people are in this kind of terrible state, and there's nobody to actually fight for them. And a story of Amaka is just to show that, it takes courage, it takes bravery, it takes actual willpower to be able to fight the monsters within us. And let's power through to the next story. Okay, so now this next story is kind of simpler. That's how she talks. Her name is Victoria Sinclair. I think she was talking in British accent, right? British accent. My name is Victoria Sinclair. And I am the richest girl. Victoria Sinclair. She's rich, beautiful blonde, has the world kissing her feet. I thought that is the la creme of the la creme. She is the what do you call them? The rich echelons. She's the 1% of the 1%. You get what I'm trying to say? They have everything under their control, but this girl is not falling for somebody else who is like the 1% of the 1%. She's falling in love with her bodyguard. But guys, if this is the bodyguard, so who said the bodyguard, according to how it is being described, is this very fine, intense, dark-haired, good-looking human being. And then Victoria Sinclair was like, this is the person I want to pursue. This is the person I want to have his babies. This is the person I want to spend the rest of my life with. This is the person that is going to make me happy for the rest of my life. And Victoria Sinclair started to pursue a bodyguard. Guess what? Bro is obtuse. Bro is more obtuse than Yam. Bro does... Oh my God. Victoria Sinclair is flirting and she's trying to be like, bro, notice me. And bro is looking like at Victoria Sinclair as if she's a tripod stand. No feelings. Nothing. Victoria Sinclair is trying to be like, just look at me. She's falling over her head, falling over her heels, trying to be like, look at me, bro. And bro is looking at the wall. Bro is looking at her like, guy, you need your medication. Bro is looking at her like she needs therapy. Like she needs to be put in the psychiatry ward. Like, what the hell is wrong with you, Victoria? For Victoria Sinclair, it's just, I can't believe this. I can't believe he's not even looking at me. I can't believe he's not. I'm rich. Daddy has money. I'm rich. But the guy is like, I'm here for my job. And at the end of the day, kind of like fell in love with Victoria. I think we also is coming from the beginning. Yeah. Our bodyguard stole our hearts, but in fact, the bodyguard, it's just going to fall by eventually. So it's a straightforward story. Yeah, we all know what happened. So moving on to the next story. The next story is, yeah, that is my expression. Like, the stranger in my bed. When you hear the stranger in my bed, it is creepy, right? You wake up and you see a stranger lying next to you. Someone has to just disappear. It's either me or a stranger. And trust me, it's not going to be... Exactly, that is my expression. Because what a Kenny? This man got drunk. I used to say it. When you drink, you tend to lose your senses. No shade to the people that drink. Honestly, I have no people that drink. And I'm not saying they're bad people or it's alcohol, guys. But when you drink and you get intoxicated, you lose your thinking faculties sometimes. And honestly, you just kind of like misbehave. You just kind of like do things that you do not understand. And you just kind of like end up in somebody's bed. Like this man that just woke up, he had a few drinks with his friends and it was like, oh, I feel so great. And he opens his eyes and he's saying like, who the hell is in my bed? Only that it's not even his bed. That's his crazy thing. So it's like, how did I metamorphosize from the bar to the front of my house to this person's bed. And it is even weird because now he's looking at the person in bed next to him and he recognizes her. Yes, it's a her. That's what I'm thinking about. It's a female. Yeah. And he's looking at this person and it's like, I know you. You are my neighbor and you are married with 2 kids. And she's waking up. Auntie is looking like, oh, what's going on? I'm like, Auntie, did you drink too? Did you somehow drink and kind of like metamorphosize into bed with this man? But then Auntie was like, oh, I saw you drunk, passed out drunk outside when I was coming back from a night out with girls, and I kind of brought you in. You did not take him. You took him to your own bed. You're married, Mom. You're married, woman. But then she took him to her own bed and she was like, well, I kind of like in a divorce proceeding with my husband anyways, which is weird to me, guys, because in my opinion, nothing justifies you taking a stranger off the street and taking them directly to your bed. What happened to the couch? What happened to the cold floor? And if you want to be nice, what happened to spreading them a blanket? Or what happened to giving them your bed and you taking the couch? What happened to sleeping in your children's room? What happened to sleeping beside your husband? What happened to all that? But no. Auntie decided, my bed is the warmest place for the stranger with bald head. He needs warmth. And at the end of the day, it kind of worked out. Who wrote this story? It kind of worked out, guys. Because at the end of the day, they kind of like got married. I'm like, what the hell? How? And the kids are like, he's better than our daddy. The victim in this story. The victim in this story is the man who his entire family just got stolen away from him. Cause what the hell? And my team is like, it's romance. It's romance. And I'm like, yeah, it is romance and it's also horror because then there's a man who just woke up and be like, my wife is divorcing me and now my children are calling this bald man daddy. Like, I don't get it. So everything worked out well in the end. I don't know. I think the husband was kind of abusive, which kind of like justifies it, but I think the writer just threw it in the midst, like, yeah, let's just give this man a bad. Yeah, let's just make it bad so we can justify the whole issue of Auntie taking a bad man into her bed. It's weird. Auntie is weird. That's my own opinion, guys. Drop your opinion in the comments down below. So the next story here is a psychological story. It's a story, that I actually wrote and actually liked. And the reason why I wrote this story was because I was thinking about how I get distracted. And kid you not, it happens to majority of people I know as well. Like we just want to check a message on our phones and find out we're on Instagram and keep scrolling. And then we just go out and see a notification from YouTube and click into YouTube and keep scrolling and we keep scrolling. And they're like, oh, I'm getting off YouTube, I'm going to Twitter and just keep scrolling. There's a lot of distractions online. This device here, this phone device here, is an epitome of distractions. And when you get into your device, you just realize that a lot of things are taking you. It's just like all these apps are just like bulky bodyguards men and just trying to drag you in all directions. And it just kind of like gets you away from what's in front of you. And when you think about it, it's kind of sad. The little mundane things that you tend to overlook are actually very meaningful. And your routines, everything, your existence is not just, constricted to this rectangular device. And honestly, writing the story just like occurred to me like, what happened if everybody just stopped imagining? If we wanted to think about the simplest things and we just rely on our phones or rely on our devices, we can't think for ourselves. It rots. Like there's a decadent, yeah, I was going to say decadence, but I was like, there's a decadence of the society and it's just ridiculous. And honestly, honest to God, I feel if we can just get off our phones sometimes, and just look around us, look at your beautiful friends, look at your mom, look at your dad, bring that cordiality back. What happened to watching TV together as kids, like together? What happened? Because everything is now like individual. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Like, there's no togetherness in that sense. Everything is so individual. I could just pick up my phone and watch a movie. I could just pick up my device and watch a movie. Alone. Divide and conquer. And that's what's happening. And I just felt to show a snippet of someone's mind that is degrading and breaking down and he's losing it over the fact that he's seeing people just getting lost in stillness and silence, and that aloneness, it's haunting. And that's what I thought about when I came to that story. And yeah, I have it on the channel. You guys can just, it's all the links will be in the description, and you guys can just pick whatever one suits your fancy. I know I spoiled everything for you guys, but if you're someone that spoilers does not do anything to, you can rewatch. But if you're keen on what's next to happen, just click on the subscribe button, click on the notification bell, and yeah, you get the videos whenever we release them. And yeah, please drop a comment so we can know your thoughts on the videos as well. And we can, try to serve you better as an audience. Thank you. Guys, I'm going to discuss the strengths and weaknesses of each video. I feel for the first video, which was Sarah Martinez, I edited that one as well. It was my first time entering this territory of animated AI animation or AI animated videos, and turning it into a story. So that in itself was kind of like, how would I say, it was very challenging in a way that I did not know what people will expect. So I had like my team and people that I knew, I just told them I was releasing the story and we've worked on it, we've worked on some stories, we just want to let them out. And editing it, I did not know what to expect. I was dabbling between Meta AI. I was also dabbling between CapCut. So I was trying to see what works, what does not work. So I was able to just put, I think it is the longest story, it's about 30 minutes or so on channel, Sarah Martinez story. I had a challenge of what will people expect, and I thought, okay, it's just about story I enjoy, story my team enjoy, and some of my friends to enjoy the story. So let me put it out, and whatever feedback we have, we'll see how to get better. Although we had ideas of how to get better after that one story, I realized that some nuances I could not just look away from. While some people could just put a picture and it's going to span maybe like a minute, then move to another picture, it span another minute, I could not look away from the nuances. So I had to make sure that each picture or each frame had like a meaning and it was relevant to what it is they were saying. Even the picture of the morning sky, picture of when Sarah Martinez was on the ledge. So all of those things I realized that when you are editing a story, or when you are making a story from actual words into maybe like animated, or it's not even animation, but using AI generated images to make it into like a storytelling, to give it visuals. So I realized that you have to pay attention to some details, and with each story that I edited personally, I was getting better with each story, and my team members were able to fall into the pace. And I think this is our first month of releasing stories, so here it will work out well with time. And yeah, for other stories, I think we have some other stories did not meet up to my or did not fall into my usual genre of stories, because I'm more into more slice of life. Some of those stories and the way it was edited, because it's not just me editing, I have two other members of my team editing. There's Bamboo Sherry Dawn, and there's also Alunge Sharon. She's very, very good at editing those stories, and it was like she was just hitting the mark. She was one that edited the 56th Bride with the help of two other of our team members who worked on generating the right images with the right prompts to make sure that we're able to get the story. So we had Abibat Yakubu and also Ayola Oluwafumilayo. They worked like endlessly to make sure that each story had the right images, and they helped Sharon, and they were able to work together as a team to get the 56th Bride out. I think they edited Price of Greed as well. You guys edited which one? Stranger in My Bed, The Last Laugh, Bodyguard, the one of Victoria Sinclair. So it was quite an interesting experience for them. And even though they were breaking their backs, anytime they just passed me, they just look at me like, you're doing this to us. But anyway, they were able to make great stories, and yeah, it's very interesting. So the ones I edited personally is the psychological story, the one of Eli, and I also voiced that one, and also the one of Adiza and Hamadu, and also the one of Sarah Martinez. So those three stories, I think those are the only three stories I edited myself, on the channel. So the rest Sharon did, and also, which I think Ridwan edited only Adizi, and the rest it was Sharon. Clap for Sharon! So it's basically Sharon that edited it. So yeah, so just working together with the team, and trying to get the right images for the right stories, and putting it together. We're still working with dynamics, and we are trying to see what works well with our algorithm and with the kind of audience we are trying to put out. We are trying to appeal to, is what I mean. So the stories we're putting out, we're trying like, okay, do we put the intro to GreyGray Tale-Tale, by the way, which is my voice, and like people around me were like, it's a bit weird, but yeah, we're getting used to it. So put the introduction in between, or should we put the introduction in the beginning, or should we put the introduction at the end? So this is just like a phase for us, where we are just like, trying to see what works, trying to see how we can be able to appeal to our audience. And so far, so good. For the first month, we have about 5,000 plus views, total, if not more, on the channel. What do you say? It's more than 5,000 views. So we have more than 5,000 views. I know some people will look at it and be like, very tiny, but I don't care. We are working, we are doing our best. So yeah. So what we can do, what we can say. So maybe we'll try to lean towards, running promotions on some of the stories, but we want to make sure we have the right story to run a promotion on. We don't just want to run a promotion on any our story. And yeah, also kudos to some of our writers. I think our writer Oluwani Fishe wrote Adeze. Which other one is from any of our writers? No. So others are from some of the team members. We have Abibat, we have Fumilayo, we have Sharon, and we have myself working on the story. So yeah, that's what I can say. And what did I learn from each video? Honestly, I think what I learned is from the process of creating the videos. So each video has its own dynamics. So you have to find the right, and you need to have a lot of patience editing, because yeah, these apps be crashing. Honestly, these apps be crashing. These editing apps just be crashing. And if you're a video editor, especially if you are using a system or a PC that is not like 1 billion naira. Just kidding. But anyway, it's just like we're just trying to maximize the resources we have, and this is just like a waiting game, because we're not monetized on YouTube yet. So we're just doing our possible best to be able to just get the videos out there. Let's see what people are saying about it. So let's see what we can make of it. So that's the stage we are right now. That's the point we are in our lives right now. And how subsequent do we upload our videos? Or how subsequent are we uploading our videos? For now, we're thinking we just upload Monday, Wednesdays, and Saturdays, and then we upload shorts in between. But I'm thinking, should we upload every day? My team members are side-eyeing me like, do you want us to die? Do you want to kill us? Is that your mission, GreyGray, to just put us through peril? But no, we are working together, and I'm doing massive work. I sleep very late, I wake up very early. It's been a ride. It is not easy running a content channel. It's not easy putting out stories every day. And the reason why we are having this review session is so that we can, we can humanize everything. And so you guys can see that, okay, it's not just that we're just, just generating images. We stay up late. We work hard Mondays through Fridays, through weekends. We work hard to make sure that everything, we're trying to brand this new storytelling channel right. And we have 2 other channels, just in case you're wondering. We have one of the training, where we do like training for videography, because you guys know from my previous channel that I'm a videographer, I'm also a photographer, and I'm also a writer. So for the videography and the photography training tips and all of those nuances are on that channel. While the first channel which I created was for storytelling, which will also be revamping into just documentaries and films. So our films will be posted on there, our documentaries will be posted on there, our podcast and real talk will be posted on the main channel. So this one is for stories. So guys, just tell us if you're enjoying our stories, and tell us what kind of stories you like to hear from us. I have been writing since I was 9. So storytelling is like a part and parcel of me. It's like my third limb at this point. But for this storytelling channel, we are aiming towards monetization. So we are writing stories we want our stories to be good. Don't get me wrong, we're not trading quality for quantity. We want our stories are good, but we are leaning towards monetization. So if we are having outrageous headlines and we're having very, very flashy thumbnails, it's because we want our stories to sell as well. I want people to subscribe. So at this juncture, if you've not subscribed and you're just hearing me yap, because it seems like I yap for a living. So guys, please head to the subscribe button right now, subscribe, and put on the notification bell so you can get updates from our stories. And also we are on Spotify, so a lot of people do not like to just like watch YouTube at this length. They like to listen while they work. So Spotify is another channel, and we are looking for ways to also use human voices. Some of our narrators are not in Lagos because we're in Lagos, Nigeria. Some of our narrators are somewhere else in the States, so it kind of like drags out. So that's why we use text to speech sometimes. If you want to know the tools we are using, I'll also link them in the description. So text to speech from maybe CapCut, text to speech from 11 Labs, but 11 Labs has limitations except you buy the pro version, and it is not that expensive. But so when you are a brokey like me, you're trying to cut costs, you just subscribe to one and just try to see what's free and what you can use. So this is my growing phase. Do not judge me, and if you judge me, it's your business. I'm not proud. Please subscribe. So what challenges do I face? I think one of the challenges we face is not me personally, because I face challenges, my team members to face challenges, just that the resources we have, because we're in a place where there's no stable electricity. So electricity is not stable for like all the day. So we turn on the generator, so we have to keep buying fuel to make sure that we keep using our PCs, keep running, which is like a normal thing for any organization or company or agency that's trying to run here in this part of the world. And also that's just resources, and also data, which is just like a challenge because MTN be sucking the life out of my data. But anyway, I think I use data. We all use data, so there's no that we can't blame MTN for the usage, what we use our data for. So that's another challenge we face, because it's always draining when you're always online, always checking out AI images, downloading this. Everything is online now. Our whole workspace is online. There's no offline here, so we're consuming a lot of data. And also another thing is tools for working is also something. I should not be saying this, but we're all about transparency here, and we're giving like a breakdown review as a new channel that is coming up. So what is a review without the truth, right? So gears as well, so we need to get more laptops that can handle editing, get better laptops that can handle editing. So all of these things are what I'm putting in to consideration whenever it is I'm working. So I'm always racking my head like, we need to get this fixed, we need to get this done, we need to get this done. And I'm so grateful for the team members I have. They put in the work, and that's why you have videos to watch thrice every week. So another one here is, so I'm going to talk about our audience response. So first, we are a new channel. We have our old channel, don't get me wrong, which is also like a baby channel. There's nothing extraordinary about our views and all of that. For this channel, we're just fresh. I think it's just 3 weeks. 3 weeks. It's not even exactly a month. It's just 3 weeks at this juncture. And what I realized was that, a lot of people are just warming up to stories, just saying, okay, what kind of stories are these? And I think the TTS is kind of throwing some people off, because for sometimes I think it was kind of throwing me off, because the way it was sounding so robotic and not so flowy, like you're voicing it as a person reading a story. So it's kind of like very stressful. But anyways, people are just kind of warming up to our stories, and we are not saying, oh, this is our standard, just work with it. We are saying we are finding new ways to get better, looking into narrators, looking into all of these things to make sure that our story get better. And when you look at the genesis of the story, from Sarah Martinez to Adeze to Price of Greed, you see that there is an improvement along the line, and we're going to get to a situation or a place where our audience will be able to rely on our storytelling, and they'll love it. That's the whole idea, for them to love it. And that's it about that. So that's all about the analysis of our work in progress towards all of the stories. So now my favorite moments or scenes, I think for me personally, it's because I edited some of the videos. So some of the videos I edited, I watched through as I'm editing, and then I also watched after. And some of the stories Sharon edited, I only watched, but the ones that I'm more immersive in are the ones I edited myself. So for example, to be fair, the story that I edited that I liked least was Sarah Martinez's story. A lot of people liked it. I think it's the highest view, but personally, I did not like that story. Not because of the story is terrible, but I just felt like a lot of things kind of like dragged out. Sarah was taking her time to unleash hell on both her mother and Mark. So it was just like taking the whole. So I felt like the reason why I added all that long drama was to amp up the suspense. And at the end of the day, I just felt like I think I got bored, kind of like amping up the suspense. But when my husband watched it and my friends watched it, they were like, "Oh my God, Linda did that," and I was like, "You guys enjoyed the story, right?" And I said, "Yeah, Linda, Sarah. Oh my God, poor Sarah, Mark." So I felt like the reaction of people was quite different from my own reaction, because when I watched it, I was like, "Yeah, whatever." But maybe because I edited it. And then I liked this story, the Hadiza story, that I edited majorly because the story was just funny. Like, Hadiza left her family and then she just started becoming a big girl in Lagos. It was just funny. And I enjoyed the process of editing it because I was editing it and my husband was in the room. And whenever I hear something ridiculous, he just goes, like Hadiza, this same Hadiza. I'm like, please leave the story alone. Now when I'm editing and he hears something, because I'm editing it in the room, so of course the TTS is playing, right? And he just hears Amadu did this, he'll be like, oh my God. It came to the wedding, so the old commentary, am I right? Pronunciation. The old commentary was just interesting for me. So I had fun editing it and I was just laughing all through because the commentary was just like, guy, chill. And when we released this story, the commentary too was like, what the hell? Some people were Team Hadiza, some people were Team Amadu, and there was like a diverse, and I was like, I didn't even see it from this angle that you guys are seeing it. I just saw it as a very plain story of Hadiza just being a crazy kid that just left, and she left her children, which is like very, very ridiculous and disgusting. So it's just like that for me. And the last one I edited was actually interesting because I added a lot of sound design, I did a lot of sound engineering, I did a lot of, things I do not add to my videos on a normal day. Like there's this part where I narrated, I was like, the word was about yada yada yada, then boom. And then it went boom. And at that point in time, I was impressed with myself. I was like, this looked like an explosion, really, really. So the sound design and the playing around with what works, I felt it took a lot of time. At the point in time, I was frustrated, like, is this all necessary? People are just going to watch anyways. They will not notice. But then I just had to take my time to just add all of those things. And at the end of the day, I enjoyed it. I even created a trailer to show that I was so proud of that. I created a trailer for it, which is like I've never done for any of the stories. And I released it. And I like late into the night. I'm talking about 3 a.m. in the morning. So, I released it around like 8 the following day. So it was just interesting process for me for that one. And now the ones Sharon edits, to be honest, when Sharon edits and she shows me, I'm like, okay, is this cool? I have almost no complaints about it. The edit is seamless. They have the right graphics for it. And I used to hear, it's like I hear them at the back of my head grumbling whenever they are generating the media. Because when you generate a media, you can generate Coca-Cola on the table and then Coca-Cola is attached under the table and you'll be like, how? How did this happen? We said Coca-Cola on the table. So your Coca-Cola is attached to the leg of the table. What is happening? I'll just see Abiba. I'll be like, oh my God, the Coca-Cola is not working well. So, like, Meta AI is not human. CapCut's image generation is not human. Sora is not human. All of these things are just trying to say, okay, maybe they mean this way, or maybe they mean that way, and then it comes out ridiculous. So we have to regenerate and try to make all of this thing work. So yeah, the team worked really hard on it. I think they'll be in the best position to just comment in this when we are done with this. They'll just comment their experience. I'll pin. I think I can pin some comments. You guys can work together and create the comments, and I'll just pin it so that the guys can see that you guys really put in the effort for this. So I think the one I really enjoyed the most that Sharon did was Victoria Sinclair. The voice was so clear. The voice was so chill. The whole edit was just beautiful. And also this one, the 56th Bride. The 56th Bride was the first one I saw that she, right? I think it's the first one you edited. Which one? The Last Laugh. The Last Laugh you edited last, but I enjoyed the 56th Bride more because the Last Laugh, I think for the Last Laugh there was a lot of tautology. There was a lot of repetition of this tautology for the. So it was not like really, really digging. And I'm not talking about the edits. I'm talking about the storytelling itself, the story itself. And then the 56th Bride, I also like that the whole color of bread on her wedding dress. They had to like pick the right, and the whole maniac boyfriend with the knife chasing her. God. So yeah, those are the favorite moments and the things that I thought to explain about it. So I've spoken about managing time. We are still thinking of a structure that will work well for us, because we are doing a lot of other things. There's this channel, there's training, there's writing, there's photography, there's videography, there's documentary, there's films. There's a lot of things we're into. Guys, please, we do not take your support for granted. We love your support. You show us beautiful love, and we're very, very grateful. Shout out to our 74 subscribers. You guys are amazing. Yes, I'm saying 74 here. So people will be like, so 74, this is so ridiculous. It's like a grain of salt. Imagine this room filled with 74 people. That is a lot of people just watching us and coming back to us. That's amazing. I know we can get more people to love us. We can get more people to like us. We just need to keep amping up the quality of our work. So shout out to our day ones. These are our day ones, the people who started out with us. Shout out to all of them. Shout out to looking at us and saying, yeah, you guys got this. So thank you very much. And if you've not joined the gang, if you've not joined our special yummy munchies, please go to your subscription button, subscribe, put on the notification bell, drop a comment on this video if you love me, and if you don't love me, please drop a comment on this video as well. I like to say the hate and the love, but I don't want hate, please. I want sweet love. So yeah, I'm just going to wrap it up with our future plans and expectations, and then just a takeaway. So future plan and expectation, we're thinking to, create a lot of lovely, yummy, interesting, nice stories. I am conflicted, guys. I am very, very conflicted. Should I bring in documentary? I'm not going to say documentary, but like non-fictitious stories on this platform, or should I just keep it fiction all through? Because I'm really having a hard time thinking, okay, will the algorithm push us to more people, or will we I need Coca-Cola. Will we just be stuck with what we have here? So I'm just thinking, me and my team are always consistently brainstorming of ideas, like how do we make this work? How do we get to our first 1,000? How do we get to our next 2 million? How do we get to our next 3 billion? Is it possible? There are 3 people, almost 4 billion or 5 billion people watched the Despacito video. So I believe like almost the entire planet Earth watched Despacito video. And yeah, almost the entire planet Earth took and watch our videos, right? Please subscribe. Yeah. So we also want to collaborate with other creators and other guests. And yeah, I always mention this whenever we're having a brainstorming session, because I love these people. And people might be like, who do you love? Guess. Guys, guess. Yeah, Stephanie Sue. And a lot of people will be like, you like Stephanie? I love Stephanie Sue. I'm a follower of Stephanie Sue. I love our Roti Mango channel. I love our Stephanie Sue channel, Miss Mango Butt and Mr. Mango Butt. Both of them, they're amazing. I listen to them religiously, honestly. The way she narrates her stories are very beautiful. And to be honest, she's someone that actually like just inspired. Like, you can just start a YouTube channel about stories as well. So that's why I'm actually doing this. Another person that is very eloquent that I listen to is Candace Owens. She's very, very eloquent. Candace gets into the crux of the matter without beating around the bush. And that's something that's very brave. So she gets into the story. She searches for the truth. While we are writing fiction, I'm thinking to bring in true stories, factual stories here as well. So yeah, those are the 2 women, power women I actually listen to. There are a couple of other people too I listen to here on YouTube, but those 2, they're at the top of my list. So without any further ado, I'm just going to say thank you so much for watching this, my long monologue. Of course, I'm talking with my team members here, but my very long rant, my very long yap about our storytelling channel this month. It's been an exciting experience, and I am going to, I'm reaching for the stars next month. I'm going deep into more stories. We have like a lot of stories. See this journal, this book here is a book of truth. We have like a lot of stories in here that we are waiting to release to you guys. But just so how can you support this channel is by liking, share, comment, subscribe, and putting on your notification bell so you can get updates from me. My name is GreyGray, your awkward yet talented chingo. Shout out to our munchies, our lovely yummy munchies. Thank you so much. God bless. Bye. GreyGray Tale-Tale.
Check it.